Querida familia de Hoy en Delaware. Comenzamos con las campañas políticas y hoy les vamos a presentar a alguien, un candidato que se presenta para representante del estado por el Distrito 3. Les vamos a decir su nombre que les va a comenzar a sonar. Branden Fletcher-Domínguez. Hi Branden, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on today.
It's our pleasure. Please, tell us a little bit more about you.
Sure. My name is Branden Fletcher-Domínguez. I'm the Democratic candidate for state representative in District 3. I'm running to fight for the people, always for the people, fighting for the people. Mi nombre es Branden Fletcher-Domínguez y yo soy el candidato demócrata por representante estatal, Distrito 3. Mi trabajo es siempre en la lucha y siempre por nuestra gente. I'm a housing advocate and I am dedicated to fighting for justice for people and representing the most vulnerable in our community. And I am excited about the opportunity to represent the district that I have lived in and have worked in as a housing advocate and to be a voice for the people in District 3.
And what are the limits of District 3?
District 3 is made up of West Center City and Quaker Hill, starting at Tatnall Street, between MLK Boulevard and 9th Street. We have Cool Spring, where we're at today, Little Italy, Hedgeville, Bayard Square, Union Park Gardens, a little bit of Wawasset Park, all of the west side of Wilmington. So a big chunk of our district is made up of the largest Hispanic population in the state of Delaware. We're a diverse district that includes people who are Black, who are Latino, who are white, who are young and old. So we have a diverse district, and excited to be here today in Cool Spring.
It's a very cool area, Cool Spring, by the way. You mentioned before, but what are your main concerns about this district?
The main concerns for this district, as someone who is young and living on my own, I've had to navigate the housing crisis that we have in the city of Wilmington, but really in the state of Delaware. Housing justice is so central to everything, and housing justice is economic justice, is health justice, is reproductive justice, and all of those things. And so we live in a district where we have over 1,000 properties that are vacant, that we know have been neglected due to predatory practices. And so I believe we can do things like creating pilot programs, a pilot program where we do rent-to-own or rent-to-buy programs, where we take derelict buildings and put them in the ownership of a community land trust, in the ownership of renters who have been living in conditions that are unsafe in our district, and giving people an opportunity to live with stability, but also to create homeownership opportunities so that people in our district can own property and affordable housing in perpetuity. And so I see that as one issue and one thing that we can do to address the housing challenges that we have in District 3. I think also investing in young people. As someone who's 24 years old, who went through the public school system, I've seen how where you live, what zip code you're in, can determine so much about your outcomes in life. And so if you're in 19805 and you're in 19801, you can have a completely different life. And so we have an education system where kids are being bussed out basically to Maryland, and it makes it really challenging for parents to be able to be involved in the youth's education system. And so investing in fully funded public schools, community centers that serve the youth who are most at need.
You are the youngest candidate this campaign. This could be an asset. Yeah. What do you think about it?
I say I am the youngest candidate for running for state house. I think that makes me better because I am connected to the young people that look like me and are in our district. And I think we need young people to step up and to fight for people. And so as a young person, I've seen, how politicians have sold us out, how, people have represented us for so long with the same old ideas, the same the same old way, and it's not working for young people. And so if we want to build a city and a state where everyone has access to opportunity, where young people can not just survive but thrive and are safe from gun violence, then I'm glad to be the youngest person to be, running for office.
Is there any primaries for this position?
So the last primary election for this district, I believe, was in 2016 or 2018, I think. We're currently represented by Sherry Dorsey Walker, who decided last June to run for lieutenant governor. And so we have an open seat for District 3. And I was doing work as a community organizer, advocating with my neighbors around unfair water billing, and it was seeing the Adams Street evictions where not too far from here 27 families were displaced due to code violations, where I decided I have to take another step and not just do activism and advocacy, but to actually get and try to get into elected office to make policies that could help my community. And so I saw the open seat, and now we have a primary election, and I am going door to door asking and listening and asking for the residents' support for the seat in District 3.
Well, thank you for letting us know and better you. And if you want to say anything, to tell something for our audience, this is the moment, this is your opportunity.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, my name is Branden Fletcher. I come from a community where a lot of people who look like me are not supposed to be in office. And so I have had to navigate at times going through gun violence, being in a neighborhood where I've had to bury too many friends to put on my hands to number due to gun violence. I've experienced the housing issue as someone who's young, who's lived on my own, and have seen how the issues that affect working families, having to navigate our state's complex systems, right? To navigate healthcare, to navigate housing, to navigate the education system, and how difficult it is that people need representation who's going to actually fight for real substantive changes, not the same old, same old. So I don't come from a political family. My parents are not politicians. I come from a legacy of fighting for survival and fighting for the issues that will make our community better. And I guess lastly, I'll say in Spanish, like I started, mi postulo para luchar por nuestra comunidad. Mi trabajo es siempre en la lucha y siempre por nuestra gente.
Muchísimas gracias. Y bueno, ya le escucharon. Es joven, no viene de una familia política, pero el haber tenido que luchar, el haber nacido y crecido en el lugar por donde se está presentando, le hace conocer muy bien cuáles son los problemas del área y cómo podría ayudar y qué podría aportar. Así que ya le han escuchado. Pese a su juventud, es casi un veterano hablando. Nos ha explicado qué es lo que hay y ahora ustedes son los que tienen que decidir, especialmente aquellos votantes del Distrito 3. Tenemos a un hispano que se atreve a romper barreras, como viene haciendo a lo largo de su vida, y que se presenta como candidato. No olviden su nombre, sonará mucho más a partir de ahora en adelante. Branden Fletcher-Domínguez. Muchas gracias.